deal. I don't even want to go over the her credentials and all that, but I want to say something. I want to say a quote from our dear ex-president Barack Obama, who in Singapore said that if women ran every country in the world, there would be a general improvement in living standards and outcomes. Unquote. He also said, most of the problems in the world come from old people, mostly men, holding on to positions of power. I bet you he had the picture of our President Nadu when he was talking. I think this is the direct reference to our dear old president. There are a lot of advantages which we can talk, and the biggest thing is my daughter said something one time when this Floyd thing happened, and she said, all my white friends are reaching out and apologizing and are saying what can we do and stuff like that. And she said, why do they have to apologize to me? Do they think this is a black problem? This is a human problem, okay? This is about the human being. So I don't even want to make it just a woman's thing. This is for the good of Ghana, be you a man or a woman. This is a thing that we all know the capabilities of women, and in as much as later on I want to focus on the women and to get them out to support, be they NPP or NDC or CPP or whatever, this is a big welcome to humanity that we have this capable, beyond capable woman, beyond capable. I do not see anybody that compares to this lady. I mean, the VC Baunia, please, let's not go there. The current president does not measure. They come nowhere near. And I mean, this lady is the pros of this woman and the advantages. I just want to talk about, people are a little concerned. I want to make this as good as what I've heard her talk to interviewers, and she stays about the free. And I want to, as much as possible, do that because it's a serious topic, and I don't even want to play too much partisanship because I do believe that our women from across board have to join hands. Our men as well have to join hands. But let me just talk about the advantages of having women in leadership. It's so clear. It's so clear. We know that companies with a diverse gender leadership perform much better than those who don't have it. And we also know that women are very good listeners, very good communicators, and this improves the political process. I mean, if you cannot communicate, I heard Arnold saying, this guy has press conferences and doesn't even take questions, doesn't even listen. But we know that women are more interested in working across party lines. So that tells me right there, they champion issues of gender equality. They try to eliminate gender bias, talk about gender bias, violence, equal pay, all those issues that would help lift women into the political spheres are there. And I know she's already done a ton of those things. So I know that if we're talking about qualifications, we shouldn't even spend precious time talking about qualifications. She has all the stuff. I mean, impeccable record. She has a middle class appeal. She has, she's taught. There is this thing that my daughter raised that I also like very, very much. That is she being in education, because I also heard the men talking about the economics, and vice presidents have been, leaders in the economic sphere, and she's not bringing in any economic experience. but education, the educational experience, is great. There is the education experience has a desire, those with educational experience desire to give the opportunity to our youth. I mean, you're dealing with educating people from primary school up through the tertiary levels. You have to think about the future. You have to think about the future of the kids, and the future belongs to the kids, as we hear all the time. And so we know that women give greater access, to people, to kids, to people, to access more economic resources. They create paths for other women. I'm not saying that the men don't do that, but they understand where they are coming from better. And so there is that nurturing, there's that nurturing that women bring. There is the question about just being an empathic listener. They are very empathetic, and I believe that she has that. All the qualities that make good leadership, she possesses. And so the issue of, is she qualified to lead if something should happen to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, it is neither here nor there, because what does it take? What does it take? The personality traits, the talents, the expertise, the knowledge, the wisdom. Look, she was the Vice Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast that had over, I would say, about 21,000 people that she managed. How many people did His Excellency the President Akufo-Addo manage in his puny law firm? 10, 12, 15? Let me give him 100. I know he didn't manage 100 people. And he was Attorney General. Then right there, he became president. And we see how poorly of a job he's doing. Now, this woman has managed a whole university with workers, with students, with auxiliary workers, you name it. And she's also managed she was the vice chancellor of a private university in Zimbabwe. And she's also now with the African, I don't know the exact, African University. Okay, yeah, exactly. I mean, this woman has this knowledge. Talk about Bawumia. Bawumia was the deputy governor of the bank, and then also taught in a school. That was the same. That was a similar institution that this woman managed. He didn't manage it. He was one of the people that she would have managed in the capacity as a vice chancellor. And when he burst on the scene in 2008, one reporter said, he was very shy, a bit timid, couldn't even say much. And yet they dared make him nominate him to be the running mate of Kufuor at the time. And nobody talked about, does he have the qualifications? Then he became the vice president. And boy, have we seen what he's done? We have seen what he's done. And if that is what they are using to measure, well, I understand that they're having, those qualms. So, I mean, there are so many things that we can talk about. I mean, some people have talked about age. And the interesting thing is nobody questions men about age. Nobody did, because if they did, we wouldn't have had this situation that we are in right now, because our president would be disqualified. Nobody talks about that, The people are talking about the fact that there was one guy who talked about her looks. Nobody talks about looks. I don't want to go down there. I mean, our president is not the best looking person out there, but that's neither here nor there. We're talking about qualities. We're talking about expertise. So I don't want us to go down